Welcome once again to the Talking Archive. I'm Josh Jacobs, and our conversation concludes with actress, dancer, and now author Stacey Waller. Now, after American Bandstand ended, I was looking on your website at staceywaller.com that you had performed in Europe, North America, and, well, we're in North America, but South America as well as different places, including the Hollywood Palladium. And tell us about those different performances.
Wow, what an incredible honor. It really was. My former husband, we both were dancers, but I did not have any interest in dancing professionally at all. But I was doing a charity event and needed a fellow choreographer. I put the word out for choreographers that were willing to donate their talent, and here popped in my former husband. We met, we married, started choreographing and dancing, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a professional dancer, have dance studios, and so that's what we did. And what a wonderful, wonderful life we were able to create, owning studios and then going on cruises around the world. We were able to bring our students and a number of 6 or 8 professional dancers who were also instructors would go on cruises together and teach and perform. And so we would do 3 to 4 cruises a year for maybe 15 years or so.
Wow.
And it was a wonderful season of life. And my former husband is a great performer. He's a great entertainer to this day. He's an amazing teacher as well. And he was able to have performances, like he would still be involved in the entertainment industry, although I was not interested anymore. Mm-hmm. But because of him, he'd drag me along as his dance partner, and I had to renew my SAG dues because we'd actually get these doggone commercials. Like, Dad, come here! I thought I let that go years ago. And so, but nonetheless, that's how I kind of got back into the industry in that regard. And then, we've had amazing opportunities. We performed at the Palladium, at Hollywood Bowl, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Gosh, that was a pinch me moment, it was that was incredible, and that was one of our funniest performances because we were so amped up and so excited, and we were not only were we performing at the bowl, but we were part of the opening for Earth, Wind and Fire. Oh my gosh, does it get
man.
better? Right? And we went out for dress rehearsal, and we had all our energy, all our enthusiasm. And then when we got to our actual performance, we had blown all of our energy in the dress rehearsal, and we were wiped. And I think we fell out of a couple of aerials, and when he lifted me over his head, and then I fell off the wrong way. I mean, it was just awful. It was one of our worst performances. But nonetheless, we've performed and danced on some pretty incredible stages all around the world, and had some amazing opportunities that have been given us, and oftentimes found ourselves pinching ourselves, and our kids were able to go along with us. So nice 20-year stint that lasted. It was wonderful.
I remember reading somewhere, they say if the rehearsal goes perfectly, that's an uh-oh moment, because you know that the recital is bound to have something go wrong.
I didn't know if you heard that, but that's exactly what you hear, because when we were walking off, we're like, man, we nailed it. That was so good. We got this, because we were doing some pretty intense aerials and lifts, and that was back when we were doing, all that nutty stuff. And oh my gosh, did we ever? We were the perfect, the epitome of that thing. So
now, have your kids gotten into dancing as well?
They did. Don is our oldest. He's now 24.
Wow.
And he's I know, right? And he was dancing for a number of years. He competed and was seated 5th, believe it or not, in the world in the U.S. Open. And within the next week, he said, "Mom, I'm quitting. I'm done. I never want to dance competitively again, ever." And I
wow.
Said, okay, then. Yeah, it was something about dancing in the competitive world just wasn't for him. So he walked away from that, but he does production, and when he does these commercials or videos or everything, you can see how he understands beats and rhythms, and how that he can, I don't know, I can't even explain it in words, but exactly what he does, it's just everything goes together and flows together so well because of his understanding of music. So he's got the music in him as the song goes. And
Kiki D.
So, yeah, and then Liz is our daughter. She's 21. She turned 21 this last week, and she is a dancer at heart, has been dancing all her life, and both kids have taught, and she continues to teach, and she does all the different dances. She's a great she does tap, jazz, ballet, all of it, hip-hop. I know there's other terms for it, contemporary and that kind of lyrical. And she teaches even the ballroom dances, and because we taught the 17 different partner dances, and she's proficient in teaching them all, believe it or not. So,
wow.
Yeah, so but that's, she's very involved in ministry and really wants to be a missionary. So I don't know how that goes together. And then she's in calculus and applied physics at SC right now. So what else that little brain is going to do? I don't know.
Well,
maybe
that degree will help her develop and invent a new type of dance that nobody ever even knew about. But thanks to physics, I don't know.
But I will tell you the reason why Lynn's got interested in physics and calculus and half the majors she's had, I can't even spell. But she was injured dancing when she was about 10 years old, and she couldn't figure out how to get better faster. And she said there has to be an invention that somebody can come up with, and I'm going to come up with an invention that you can get better faster when you get injured as an athlete. And so biomedical engineering is what she put her mind on when she was young, and that's exactly why she was interested in all those things, and she has that STEM kind of mind. So everything goes back to dancing, and there's a reason behind all of it, but her heart's really passionate for the Lord and really wants to do something for the kingdom of God. So we'll see where all of that ends up. Somehow he uses it all.
Exactly. And by the way, what was the best piece of advice that you've been given?
Oh, goodness. Wow, that's a great question, Josh. I think it probably was to be authentic and don't try to be anyone other than yourself. God just made one of you, and he made you to be you. And I think that goes for all of us. And Josh, you're such a great representation of that. You are so talented at what you do, and I share this with you oftentimes, that you are so gifted, and then you can share that gift with so many others. You do something that I don't know anyone else could do. And you're being your authentic self, and, you are using all of your strengths. And I think if we all did that and not focus on what we're not good at, which is not easy for me. I want to poke holes on what am I not good at? I need to get better at these things and these things. And not that we don't need to better ourselves, but I think we need to do most of what we're best at, and find others to shore us up around us that can help us with the areas of our weakness. So to make a long story short.
Oh,
short
definitely.
Long.
Well, that also answers the other question, what your advice to those who like to get into acting and dancing is. Definitely be yourself. That was a piece of advice I got about 19 years ago from game show legend Jack Nars, because I read an interview with him where he said, the young folks are not into what us old-timers have to say as far as hosting and broadcasting. So I said to him, Jack, I'm one of those people, those young people who wants to know what your advice is. So I thought, okay, he'll talk to me for about 10 or 15 minutes. But all he said was first of all, be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. It's okay to be inspired by others, influenced by others, but be yourself. And second of all, have a good time. Because if you're not having a good time, the contestants will not have a good time.
There you go. That's great advice. Yeah, it sounds very similar. It's so true. And if we're not, bringing joy to others, and that was, again, the reason why I even started dancing. I love dancing because I saw people smile. I was like, oh, I'm bringing joy. Okay, getting them to smile, and then that was my why, and if we're not bringing people joy, then there's no reason to do it in my mind. So, yeah,
dancing is fun, even though I'm kind of clumsy at it. It is fun to do.
I don't know about that. I've seen you in a couple dance classes. Oh. You're doing great.
And right now, any dance recitals or dance projects you have coming up?
No, I'm actually focused on a couple of other projects, just I've gotten a lot into writing and speaking and that kind of thing. The most I do, I am a flight attendant now, and so I've actually taught a couple of dance lessons on board or on the jet bridge, and that has been
wow.
fun with the crews or a couple of folks that were passengers. So we have a blast on board, I have to say that. And, I did have a dance class. I had a dance contest one time on board. That's as close as I've gotten. As people were boarding, we were in Maui, and it was really hot in the terminal. And we were running 45 minutes late, so I had everybody dance down the jet bridge, and then I had our two pre-boards that were in wheelchairs, so they were already there in the front. They were going to be my judges, and so they'd have to dance down the aisle, and then I gave out prizes to whoever they said were the winners of the contest. And then lo and behold, we're up in the air, and the pilots call back, and I was in the back galley, and they go, "Oh, by the way, guys, our CEO is on board." Oh, no. My crew said you turned white as a ghost, Stacey. Like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, I guess I've made it wasn't CEO, CFO, one of our EOs, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Our
EIO, I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure
those guys.
he or she probably has a different title this week because they always seem to shuffle titles, but it's the same thing pretty much.
So, yeah, that's as much dancing as I'm doing these days, but still trying to, help people on board again, just, I fly for old people, scared people, and babies. That's what I tell people, yeah. So, just once again, wanting to hopefully share a smile and others do the same. So.
Now, that's something I've never seen on television or in a movie, dancing on a plane.
Okay. Yeah, you haven't been on my flight yet, Josh.
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta get on one of
I think the established writers in Hollywood need to start flying commercial instead of private because they're missing out on so much. Do you mind if I use that idea in a script sometime?
Oh, that's good.
I'll change the names to make sure, but
protect the innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gosh.
Well, Stacey Walford, Stacey.
Hey, that's good. I should
Is that right?
I like that. I'm going to talk to my husband.
Is it Walford, or how do you pronounce your last name?
My last name is Waller. That was my maiden name, and my husband is Holford.
Holford. So it's combine the
Waller Holford. There you go.
Combine the two names. Yeah. Try saying that 10 times fast. I'm going to make sure. We've been talking with Stacey Waller Holford, dancer at American Bandstand, as well as dance instructor for many, many years, and now an airline flight attendant and author. And it's been an honor talking with you. Is there anything you'd like to finish the interview with?
No, other than the fact, Josh, that I just so admire you and what you're doing here, and I just wish you every bit of success. You are an incredible individual, both in front of the camera, behind the mic, and in person. You're just a good human being, and I just applaud you for all of your efforts, and I'm glad that you have the listening audience that you do. Every bit of success that you have is very well deserved.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and continued success to you and to John and Lindsay, and and I hope you get to have more dancing on the airplane, and that was not just a one-time occurrence, and maybe reward some prizes. I don't know. Are there any specialty luxury snacks you can give them as prizes that go to the first class that you can give to the people and coach as far as the winners are concerned?
That's what I gave out as prizes, and so you're on the same page.
Oh, okay, good. So a mini bottle of Dom Perignon.
There you go. Debug Chuck.
Yeah, Debug Chuck or Ripple, as Fred Sanford called it.
There you go. Oh.
This is the Talking Archive. I'm Josh Jacobs. We've been talking with Stacey Waller Holford, and her website, by the way, is staceywaller.com. Stacey is spelled Stacey, Waller, WALLER.com. And if you want to get her book called How to Divorce Well. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do. Also, if you'd like to go to my Instagram, We love your subscription there. We do have some unique videos there as well at JoshDJ57. That's JoshDJ57. And so until next time, for our next interview, keep your mind on the things above. And as you hit that open road, don't be a slowdown spectator.